Praise the Lord, it's right, blessed art thou among women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners. Amen.
Eto na, veteran actress Ruby Ruiz stars as an old virgin in this Cinemalaya Film Fest entry, Ang Pagdadalaga ni Lola Mayumi. Now, this tells the story of Lola Mayumi, who wishes to change her perspective of men. Now, with us now is the film's director, Shiri De Leon. Good morning to you, Shiri.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's nice to have you with us. Thank you so much, of course, for being with us so early in the morning. First up, Direk, I want to start, of course, just thinking about the title lang, Ang Pagdadalaga ni Lola Mayumi. I want to find out what's going through your head. Actually, Shiri, as you decided, okay, I'm going to write a story about this. I mean, where did it all stem from? Saan nanggaling talaga ang storya ni Lola Mayumi? At ano ba ang nag-udyok sa'yo to do a film with this concept?
Okay, so I've always wanted to make a film that tackles, the topic that this film talks about, which is the effects of, sex to a person. And I thought, would it be cool if I show its effects to Lola Mayumi, who just chose to remain pure her whole life because she's always been afraid of men and always been scared of being intimate with a man. But yeah, it was pretty. Because the title, Ang Pagdadalaga ni Lola Mayumi, is really not what the audience thinks it's gonna be. Because when we say Ang Pagdadalaga, usually it connotates to, when a woman gets her first menstruation or when a woman finally, is in a physical companionship with a man. But we see in this film that Ang Pagdadalaga has a different meaning. And it's a meaning that really means a lot to me. And I hope that the audience will understand and see the ending.
Well, Shira, just looking at the clips now, it shows a lot about what's happening or what's going to happen in this room. Parang I want to jump already to the end. I want to know what happened. Ano ba yung mga struggles ni Lola Mayumi? And, how did she overcome it? As you said, there's so many cliffhangers in this 20-minute short film of yours. Tell us more about her character.
Okay, I really don't want to spoil the actual plot twist of the film, but I'll just say that Mayumi has been through so much in the past as a young woman. She has been exposed to sex in a different way and not in a good way. So that really affected her belief and her mindset that, men are just men who are after women's bodies for their own pleasure. And she kept that belief and solidified it for so many years until she was old. But she's still a human, she's still a woman, and everyone has a breaking point. And she had a breaking point of I want to feel what it feels like to be a woman. I want to experience that. And she just took that risk. She booked a motel room, hired a call boy, and let's say she kind of had faith in him, but we will see how the relationship goes at the end of the movie.
Parang Direk Shiri, parang maraming mga hugot lines ang makukuha natin,
Yes.
right? In just that short interaction that she's had, of course, in the hotel room. How did you choose? Of course, we all know that Ruby is such an amazing actress. How did you choose her? Did you have her in mind? And how did you convince her to say, yes, I want to do this movie, considering she's actually won, the best actress also in a previous Cinemalaya film for Iska?
Okay, so ambitiously, I already had her in mind when I was writing the script. But then as I was finishing the script, I was like, okay, I want her, but how are we gonna get her? But luckily, since I'm in a film school, my prof had a project with her. So we reached out to my professor and then asked for her number. And then my producer and I were so nervous because we were like, will she respond to us? Because we're just random people who messaged her out of nowhere. But she was so nice. She was lovely to work with. She brought Mayumi to life and gave her more pizzazz than I could ever dream of. And working with her is really such a surreal experience.
I mean, there must have been really something about your film to read it, you know, on script, and for somebody like Ruby to say, yes, oh my gosh, I really want to considering doing this film of yours. And interestingly enough, I mean, you are still currently pursuing a film degree, quite young. This is your first short film na hindi naman talaga requirement sa school, and you made it especially for Cinemalaya. What was it like for you? Parang ikaw rin nagdadalaga rin in this Cinemalaya movie of yours. What was your experience like, Direk?
Okay, so this was a completely different experience for me because, like with what you said, I am still in film school. I'm still, you know, through my second year in college, and it was something that really pushed me to think outside of the box. Also, since we were shooting during the pandemic, you know, we had a lot of limitations in terms of like the amount of people needed because this was filmed last February, and I think the lockdown during that time was a bit like strict. So it really pushed me as a filmmaker to go outside, like think outside of the box and to find ways to really do justice to Mayumi's story and to the callboy story. And it being in film school also just really gave me the foundation needed to make this film. But as we were shooting it, I really needed to trust myself. I needed to trust Tita Ruby, Julian, who played the callboy. I needed to trust the crew. And it was really, yeah, like with what you said, it's a pagdadalaga experience for me as well, because I never had a production as tough yet fun as this one.
There you go. I mean, that's always the words that we want to hear, that it was, you know, fun and exciting for you. We wish you all the best. I know it's coming up, a 20-minute long short film of yours. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Direk Shiri. And to our viewers, this year's Cinemalaya Film Fest happens from August 6th to September 5th.